to welcome everyone to Coffee with Kendall. I am Kendall Mead, the owner of Brandt Travel. Today, we are spotlighting one of our preferred partners for guided land touring, and that is Collette. With Collette, you will be able to have an all-inclusive experience if you want every little piece handled from the second you leave your front door all the way back until you return home. Collette is the brand to take care of everything. And since their tours are all-inclusive, you know the price up front, so it makes planning travel really perfect. Many of our guests have had exceptional experience with them over the years, so we've had great reviews, hence why they're a preferred partner of Brandt Travel. And so today we have Karen Barclay. She is here representing Collette. She's going to chat with you about just a few spotlighted trips that we have, but we can, of course, take you on any Collette trip anytime, wherever you'd like to go. So I am going to turn this over to Karen.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Karen Barclay, and I'm here in North Texas with you too. The sun is coming out today, so hopefully that means the rain brought us cooler weather, which is always nice this time of the year. I am really excited to share 3 itineraries that Brandt Travel is offering to you, as well as other ones. And if you haven't traveled with Collette before, I'm going to give you just a little bit of background on who we are, what makes my job and just my life amazing to work for this great company and with great partners like Brandt Travel. So I'm going to share my desktop with you guys, and then we'll get started on all of the itineraries. All right. So let me go ahead and share. And then if you will let me know when you're seeing the Collette. Great. Thank you so much. All right. If you haven't traveled with Collette before, let me just give you a little bit of background. I'm sure some of these things might make you go, oh yeah, I've seen that or this or that. So Collette, we've been in business 107 years. So like we like to say, it's not our first rodeo, right? So we've been doing this for quite a while. We're a private company out of Rhode Island, and it's a third generation family-owned company. And we have our first woman that's leading our company. So Jacqueline, we're really excited that she now is running the show. I started working for Collette back in 2019, and it has just been a fabulous journey. I only regret I didn't find it 10 years earlier, but all things happen for a reason. You can see in the collage that I'm sharing with you just some of the locations that we go to. We do safaris, we do Greece, you see there, the Cliffs of Moher, of course, Costa Rica, lots of the different national parks, wine country, and all different places that we travel. So 170 plus tours to all 7 continents. And what you might also know us for is our partnership with the Wheel of Fortune. So we've been working with Pat and Vanna, or now Ryan Seacrest, for over 30 years. They're just a wonderful partner and give us lots of great national recognition on that level. And then the Hallmark Channel too. We recently started a partnership there. You might have heard us recently too on NPR, Fox News. We're doing a lot of advertising that way as well. So what is this whole guided travel stuff about? What happens? What's going on there? So here are all the things that we include on our tours. We're a premium tour operator, and what that means is we're going to stay in 4-star accommodations, staying city center in locations where you have a chance to really get to know things as the locals do. We are going to take care of your baggage handling as well at the hotels when you arrive, when you depart, helping you get those bags back and forth and to the new destinations. Cultural as well as culinary experiences. We want to do home hosted meals. We want to do foodie tours. We really want you just to be immersed in the culture and understand how those people live and get a chance to try all the different walks of their life. You'll have a tour manager with you the whole time. So this tour manager, I like to call more like your concierge. So my parents went on a trip with us to Costa Rica in February of 2020. My dad just had to say, that tour manager, I stayed awake all night trying to come up with questions that he just couldn't answer. And so it's just a fun way to really get engrossed, whether it's a joke, whether it's food, whether it's a souvenir you want to bring home, really utilize that tour manager for all different things that you need in your destination. We'll bring in some local guides, unparalleled sightseeing. So we always want to make sure we do the must-sees as well as other things. We have guests who go to Europe with us, and the tour manager will kind of veer off of the path a little bit just to swing through a town that somebody says their ancestors are from. So it's all about you experiencing the things that you need to see. We're going to handle too all the entrance fees, preferential access. We'll travel on tour in very comfortable transportation, whether it's motor coach, tuk-tuks, trains, whatever it is, we want you to experience the culture of the area. And then we plan all of our own itineraries as well. So those are many of the things that we do and consistent throughout all of our itineraries. The first one we're going to talk about today is America's cowboy country. And this is just one of an all-time favorite. I did get to spend some time in many of these areas that we're going to show you today. In 2020, our daughter got married in California, and we did a road trip all over the West Coast. So I had a chance to visit some of these beautiful national parks. But our America's Cowboy Country is an 8-day, 10-meal tour. And this is all about the American West, visiting many of the famous parks of this region, and along the way experiencing things as a local. Here's the tour at a glance. So you will fly out of DFW, and the pricing includes your airfare and us picking you up from one location there, getting you to the airport, and we'll talk about all of those things at the end. But we're going to fly into Rapid City. The black circle with the number inside of it means how many nights we're going to spend there. So really neat itinerary. We'll start off in Rapid City, spend 3 nights, and then we're going to hub and spoke and visit all of those attractions right around Rapid City. And then we're going to head west. We'll go through Deadwood. We'll stay in Buffalo one night. We'll stay in Cody a night. Then we'll come into the beautiful Yellowstone National Park and stay in one of my favorite towns, Jackson Hole, and visit the beautiful Grand Tetons. Just so you know, activity level, we rate them 1 to 4. All 3 of the tours we talk about today are a level 2. So it just means you like a balanced approach. You can walk for a couple hours, climb a couple of stairs, get in and out of different types of vehicles, and handle different varieties of terrain. All right, we'll start off here at the gateway to the Black Hills, and we'll spend 3 nights here in the town of Rapid City. And its name actually came from the Limestone Springs stream that runs through the city. It's the second largest city too in South Dakota. Funny thing is I've never been to South Dakota, and I've never been to North Dakota, and I've never been to Alaska. So I wanted, when I was there in that area, to go a little further east, but we just didn't make it. But this town is right up there on someplace I need to get to very soon. We'll start off and we'll visit the Badlands National Park, and it became a national park in the late 1970s. Known for a lot of bison that run through there as well. We'll continue along the Badlands Loop Road, and you'll see the rock formations and the vibrant colors here that are caused by the mineral deposits. And then we'll stop at Wall Drug Store. So this Wall Drug Store is known for years and years, and was built as a store back in the 30s. And people would see along the road as they're coming into this area free ice water, and it became just an attraction that folks stopped at. And we'll visit the store while we're there. You'll have a chance to have lunch, browse around, and you'll really feel like you've gone back in time, just because nothing much has changed there, and you'll really feel like it's very authentic. That evening, we'll have a Lakota Native American join us for our welcome dinner, really discuss his dedication to the community and learn all about life past as well as present. Then we're headed to Custer State Park, Your guide will fill you into on the history and the fun facts all about the park's wildlife, and we'll be on the search for over 1,000 free roaming bison in this area. It's a huge park. It's like 70,000 acres, so just beautiful country. Next, be prepared and amazed at Crazy Horse Memorial. Of course, they're still building it. They expect, but I probably wouldn't put money on it. It should be completed by 2030, but it's taken over 70 years. Began back in the late 40s. There's several museums you'll have a chance to visit too at the memorial site. The Indian Museum of North America. There's a cultural museum. There's a sculpture studio. All different types of things for you to learn all about the 300 native nations in this area and their history of their culture. And then we're going to visit the mighty Mount Rushmore. And here you'll see Washington and Jefferson and Roosevelt and Lincoln. These stretch about 60 feet and took 12 years and 400 workers to build. Then we're going to make a stop in Deadwood, which I often think, and I haven't been there, but if you were to close your eyes, you probably could still hear the saloon doors swinging open and all of that, and the cling, cling, cling of all the what am I trying to say, slot machines and all that kind of stuff going on, and people pulling their guns out, because it's really, really takes you back into all of those old-fashioned Western times. So you'll visit this town, just really a rambling town. Now it's a national historic landmark as well. We'll bring a local guide in, and we're going to go over to the Mount Morris Cemetery. And this cemetery actually is where Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane, just a few of the figures from the Wild West, have been buried. And then Kevin Costner's Tatanka. Learn all the story of the bison, because there is quite history of how the bison have played a major part in their relationship too with the Lakota Native Americans in the area. Then your day will come to an end in Buffalo, Wyoming, and we'll spend a night there. The next day, we're going to head off. We're going to tour the beautiful area of Bighorn Mountains. We'll cross over the territory of the Great Sioux Nation. And then we'll make a stop at Buffalo Bill's Center of the West, established way back in 1917 and built as a tribute to William Cody, who's the original Buffalo Bill. Lots of fun museums to see there, lots of things to learn about as well, from the Plains Indian Museums to the Draper National Museum, all kinds of things. Then we're going to visit the incomparable Yellowstone National Park, and the oldest national park of the world. And you'll get to see the world's largest concentration of geysers. And think about this, Yellowstone is larger than Rhode Island and Delaware combined when you think about landmass. So it's huge. It's famous too for the free-ranging herds of buffalo, and most of the time they'll slow everything down, and you'll see traffic jams because you got to let those guys pass when they're there. That's their territory. Yellowstone touches on 3 of the western states too: Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. So again, just a huge area. And no visit would be complete without visiting Old Faithful. And she is just, the wonderful eruption every 60 to 90 minutes. You can just put a stake in it. You know exactly when it's going to go off. So in the late 1800s, though, people used to take their handkerchiefs, when people carried handkerchiefs, and lay them on top of it. And then when it erupted, the handkerchief went flying up into the air. And it was really like, who could find theirs after that? How far does it shoot? You can't do it anymore. I'm sure you can find some videos about it, but it was something in the 1800s that people did and became quite a fun part of their trip. We're going to continue on and just look at this. This is breathtaking. This whole area as we drove through here is just incredible. This is the Sylvan Pass, and this is Yellowstone Lake here. And we're making our way now. We're going south. We're heading south from Yellowstone down to the Grand Tetons, making our way down to Jackson. And this is the Grand Tetons National Park. When we were there, there's actually a bigger lake called Jenny Lake, and you can hike around the lake. My husband said it was going to be like about an hour hike, and we took a wrong pass and it was like 3 hours. So we have quite a few memories of being ready to get off of the path and have something cold to drink. But it's amazing. The Tetons themselves stretch over 41 miles, rising up to the southern end of the Yellowstone National Park. But it is just absolutely breathtaking. And the town of Jackson is so much fun, from the ice cream to the great brunch places, just to walking the streets. And this area downtown is known as the Antler Arch. And the square in the middle of the town, each entrance, so there's four different, points of the square, have this beautiful arch. And these are antlers. These antlers are collected by the Jackson Hole Boy Scouts. They host an auction every year for these sheds, and the money that they earn goes to support. There's a national elk refuge that is just a little bit north of Jackson itself. And you'll see that and drive right through it. But you've got to take your picture there. I mean, that is a site that everybody has their picture made, and it is just beautiful. Then we're going to take you on a covered wagon ride to your final dinner. Really, really give you that theme of Old West, and take you to Cache Creek Canyon. It'll be a night of Western hospitality at the Chuck Wagon Dinner, and this sure is a highlight as well. You'll have a chance just to reminisce about what a wonderful trip you were on and all the wonderful friends that you made along the way. So hope you can join us on this trip. And of course, starting out in Rapid City, heading on west over to Yellowstone, and then down and finishing up in Jackson is just a wonderful trip and a great time of the year to get out of Texas and enjoy some cooler weather, because we know June can easily be very warm as well, but it's a great time to be there. You'll probably start off with a light jacket in the morning in June in that area. This is the pricing of the trip, and Kendall can give you more information and help you guys sign up. Deposits, we'll talk about our insurance here in a little bit. Deposits are due by December 12th if there's still space available. Brandt Travel's holding many seats to get you guys signed up, so just work with Kendall. Just know that it is fully refundable by the 12th of December, and then final payment's going to be 90 days out. Everything's included, including your round trip group transfer to and from your hometown to the airport, round trip air taxes, transfers once you arrive in Rapid City for this example, as well as all the itinerary inclusions and your tour manager. So double is $39.99, and there are singles available as well. And just remember, singles go very quickly. So if you are single, please get signed up as soon as possible. All right, moving on to Canadian Rockies featuring Rocky Mountaineer. So my husband and I were blessed to do this and actually do it the same direction that you're doing it. So this is 8 days and 13 meals, and the Rocky Mountaineer is a bucket list for everybody. You got to do it once at least, and it is a great way to enjoy the scenery of the Rocky Mountains as it changes along with the landscape, and enjoy the beautiful Canadian Rockies. So you'll fly into Calgary and you'll spend a night there. Then you're on to Lake Louise, and you do stay at the Fairmont property there. And then 2 nights in Banff. Banff, you pick up the Rocky Mountaineer, head then west through Kamloops and stay 1 night, and then the beautiful city of Vancouver, which there's always a lot of fun things to do, and then fly out of Vancouver back to DFW or wherever your home base is. This is a classic tour, just like the other one as well. So it is a maximum of 44 people. And again, the activity level is a level 2, just like the last one, so that you're comfortable. There's some description there. So we're going to start off in Alberta, Calgary, right? It's a province. That's how they situate their states up there in Canada, our friends just north of us. Dubbed the world's largest rodeo happens here too. So the Calgary Stampede. Fun fact too, the sun shines there an average of 3,200 hours every year. So there's nothing not to like about that. We'll discover the cowboy spirit of Western Canada, and we'll stop at a local ranch, and we're going to learn some line dancing, all right? And take a wagon ride and search for the buffalo. Soaring peaks here serve as the backdrop. We'll sit down and we'll have an Alberton barbecue lunch. So we all know we got Texas barbecue, we have Canadian barbecue, we got Memphis barbecue. So you always got to try their different types of food. We'll arrive that afternoon in the picturesque village of Lake Louise and settle into the famous Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. So when I was there, because they don't take us when it's just the best weather, that lake was frozen solid and we walked all the way across it, which is crazy to think because it takes, the lake doesn't really even thaw till end of May, June, depending on the snow, I mean, that's out of our control. But it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I had such a great time seeing it. Now I want to go back when the lake is thawed out. You'll have this evening, you'll dine at one of the great restaurants there at the Fairmont. You'll enjoy some leisurely mornings. You'll admire the enchanting turquoise waters of the lake, and then you'll take a scenic drive through Banff. This is the powerful Bow Falls, very wide and short, unlike usual waterfalls. And we'll take in a panoramic view too of Surprise Corner, which is a popular sightseeing destination, and really learn all about the glaciers that formed all of these waterfalls and rivers and lakes and everything all through the area. And don't miss the amazing hoodoos here, the rock formations that peek out through the forest. Next, we're going to meet up with a local amylite specialist and learn all about the regional national gem that comes from this area, only found in Alberta. And it was formed 70 to 75 million years ago. So you'll get a chance to meet with them and even buy some to bring home. This is the downtown area. You'll have time to shop. There's some local breweries. It's wonderful, if you're careful, to take a picture from that road, the median right in the middle of the roadway with the Canadian Rockies behind you. But please be careful. But if you can get out there and it's not a lot of traffic, it's a really neat picture to have and a nice memory. You'll also won't be surprised. You'll probably see some wildlife. They just cross right through the city. They're just like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Good to see you. And it really is a fun and cozy town. Then we're going to journey over to the Icefield Parkway. This is a road that runs through the heart of two of the region's major national parks here. And it is just breathtaking. The fresh air you take in there, the picturesque waterfalls, the rivers, the glacier peaks, cliffs, it just goes on and on and on. It's home of the largest fields of glaciers south of the Arctic Circle. Here you'll have what's called Choice on Tour. You pick which one of these you would rather do. You can stop at the Athabasca Glacier and choose a fun ride across the glacier, or you can walk out on the Columbia Icefield Skywalk. So if you choose to do this, you actually get in these trucks, which they don't look as big as they are when you're right next to them, because when I stood next to that tire, it was over my head, and I'm 5'9". So those tires are huge and so super cool. You'll go out across the mass of more than 100 glaciers that are in this area and get a chance to get out and walk around and check those out. Or you can walk along the skywalk. You'll take in some incredible views, and this is over 900 feet above the valley there and extends about 100 feet outward. Then you'll make a stop at the Peyton Lake on your way to Banff. And this morning it's time to climb aboard the Rocky Mountaineer. The Rocky Mountaineer has two different levels. They have a gold and they have a silver. So if you decide you want to upgrade, what's included, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Shh, hey, knock it off. Sorry, guys. Never fails. Amazon's probably delivering, right? But anyway, two different levels, silver and gold. Silver is what is included in the pricing if you want to upgrade to the gold leaf. Just a little background on what that means is the gold leaf is the upper level. You're in the glass domed area of the train and everything. You're going to have more of a uh, a separate dining cart and everything to go to. You'll have top shelf liquor, alcoholic as well as non-alcoholic. You'll have outdoor viewing platforms, just some other things like that. I did the Silver Leaf and it was amazing. I really didn't think I missed out on anything, but it's just the difference of eating more in the location right there where you are. Plenty of legroom, plenty of things, and each car does include a host that's telling you all about the different spirals you're going through, the lakes, the birds. We saw an eagle swoop down and take something out of the water. And we were like, oh, wow, that's cool. Well, my friend's husband was a photographer, and so he got the picture. When we zoomed in, we thought it would be a fish, but it was really a duck. The eagle had picked up a duck and it was hanging upside down and it was a hoot. I said, you need to send that to National Geographic or something because it was so unique. But really, really, really a fun trip. But it's all about the scenery and just the change in the landscape as you're traveling through. But just know that there's two different categories. So if you want more information, that's on the ordering as well. So in addition to all the wildlife, of course, you learn all about the history of that area. This whole area, because of the Rocky Mountaineer too, it has brought the East and the West together, learned more about its history through all of these wonderful, the spiral tunnels where you could kind of look back behind you and you see yourself just going through these things is just incredible. There is several rivers that you follow along. One's called Kicking Horse, and you'll learn about why it's called that. Just some neat history there. And you'll see as you travel, because you're going to travel across the Continental Divide, just keep your eyes out. These are some bighorn sheep, and they blend right in the scenery. So we made a pact with everybody. If you see something, call it out, because sometimes people can spot if something moves, but they almost just because of the way that the camouflage with their scenery as well as their coating, it's hard to see. But you'll see osprey, you'll see eagles. We saw a bear too, moose, elk, all kinds of neat things. So, and then landscape is going to change. So notice here, now we're coming into the semi-arid desert area here, and we're heading towards Kamloops, where you'll spend the night. So you don't sleep on this train. You do, your accommodations are already set up for you in the different stops that you are, and they'll help you get your bags to them and everything else. And the first stop is Kamloops. Then the next day we'll continue on through the river canyons and see the snow-capped mountains as well. You're going to see berry farms, you'll see vineyards. You see the guy in the picture there too in the far right corner. That's one of the hosts. So each one of the rail cars has a host that's going to help serve you and share with you all of the history and things like that as you travel along. And then you'll have another beautiful day on board of the Rocky Mountaineer, having a final toast as you're approaching one of my favorite cosmopolitan cities of Vancouver. All right, then the next morning, we're going to ascend Grouse Mountain, and you're going to take a gondola, enjoying all the views from that area. Enjoy breakfast on the peak of Vancouver. And then we're going to take you to meet a couple grizzly bears. So these grizzly bears were actually rescued back in the early 2000s. So Ranger's going to share with you, you know, how they found them, the story behind them, the history of them, and why haven't they been, you know, reintroduced back into the wild and why they're kept there. Then it's time to tour Vancouver. If you haven't been there, this is one of the areas that you've got to stop and see, which is called Stanley Park. And it is where they have these 9 totem poles, and they're all decorated different. This area was created and to encourage the Aboriginal people to share the stories through a different variety of their media. Then you can follow along with the park's famous, there's a sea wall right there. So if you're standing at these totem poles looking out, you can see the water right there in the marina, in the whole downtown area. People ride bikes, there's beautiful trails to take, historic landmarks, colorful gardens all along the way. And then you'll get a chance to visit Granville Island. So this is another really fun place, great restaurants, great shopping, people watching. Just absolutely beautiful. It was once, though, an industrial wasteland, which is very interesting. And now it is the art and cultural hub of the city. It's just buzzing with entertainment, street art, festivals every other weekend, culinary delights, and lots of top-notch spirits as well. This is the famous public market, has lots of different restaurants to stop and eat, as well as unique gifts. And you'll have a chance to spend some time strolling through and looking at all the handcrafted crafts, as well as the artesian fare. And then later that evening, we will have a farewell dinner at a local restaurant and celebrate a wonderful, wonderful trip on the Canadian Rockies with the Rocky Mountaineer from Calgary to Vancouver. All right, here's the pricing of this trip as well. And same type of thing, like I told you, I don't have the dates on here. And Kendall, if you have them in front of you, you can shout them out. But the Canadian Rockies with Rocky Mountaineer, this is always a popular trip and always sells out. Like I said, it is a bucket list. Deposit and insurance. Deposits are due by the end of November. This whole package, you are saving $450. It is refundable up to that point. So if you want a spot, I know we have sold over half of the seats that we have, so space is limited. So please, if you're interested, get on and get signed up for this. Final payment will be 90 days out from departure, which means the trip will be May, June, July. So it must be the end of July.
Yes, our trip is July 26th through August 2nd.
Thank you. So the end of July, again, great time to get out of Texas and enjoy that. For double, there are singles available too. So take a look at that if you are single, and we can be sure to get that. And all the same things are included. But not a tour. It says tour manger. Somebody misspelled that. Was not me. It's a tour manager you will have. So great trip. Just great, great, great. I'm so glad I got the opportunity to do that. And I hope if this is something that you want to do, you're able to sign up for it. All right. Last but not least is the magical Christmas markets of Austria and Germany. Love, love, love. I had the opportunity to go to the Christmas markets 2 years ago and really didn't know anything about them, but had the opportunity and said, what the heck? Now I'd like to go every single year to the Christmas markets, because if you're not in the mood for Christmas, you will be when you come back, because it's all about the holiday spirit there, the traditions, really over like 6, 7, 8, 900 years, that they've been doing these things, and everything is so genuine, and the traditions they have are just fabulous. This is a level 2 as well, activity level. And one of the things I love about this too is it's a single hotel stay. So it's really nice. You unpack once and then you hub and spoke each day out to these different destinations, which are just incredible. There's the tour activity. So we're going to start off in the beautiful town of Innsbruck. Oh my goodness. I was in Innsbruck in April and May with my husband and my son and daughter-in-law. And it was, not a lot of snow. There was still snow capped up in the mountains, but it's just a beautiful town. It's what they call a Tyrolean town. That's the type of people from that area that are called that. It's nestled in the heart of the mountains. And again, you're going to spend 5 nights right here in Innsbruck. We'll start off with a welcome dinner, get to know everybody on the trip, and then we'll have choice on tour. You can either take a walking tour of Innsbruck, which is such a walkable, beautiful city. There's that beautiful, you can kind of see in the picture there, the river that runs through the town right there. And it's just beautiful to walk on either side of it and walk across the bridges as well. Or you can go to the museum, learn all about the regional heritage there. Then we're going to journey by train 3,600 feet above sea level to Seefeld. And this is a charming town, just perched up at the plateau high in the Alps. And it's particularly festive too during the holiday season. It's known for world's greatest ski resorts. So when we were in Innsbruck, we were talking to some of the locals there and some of the high school kids, and they said, "Oh boy, we love living here." They get a ski pass, And as soon as they get out of school in the afternoon, there's a bus there taking them right over to the lifts and off they go to ski in the afternoon. And they do it, they said, oh, every day, 4 or 5 times a week. It's just super easy for them to do that. Seefeld has hosted several Olympic and World Ski Championship competitions, and there is just home of miles of walking trails and cross-country skiing and just beautiful fresh alpine air as well. We'll step off the train into the pure alpine air here, and we will find an authentic horse-drawn carriage and try some schnapps, which is a traditional gift in that area. You'll be greeted by our friend Peter here, who will invite you to for an interactive demonstration of how to make traditional strudel. And this dessert is an Austrian specialty, and it's been around since the 17th century. Then over the mountains and through the woods, we're going to go to the Austrian countryside of Salzburg. And this is the town with beautiful gardens and wondrous adventures. You'll journey through this Baroque heart of the old city and famous thoroughfare to Mozart's birthplace, where the renowned composer was born in the mid-1700s. Then head over to Maribel Gardens and the iconic Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So you'll step into the steps there too of the Sound of Music. This is the Pegasus fountain right there in front of the palace, where of course Maria and the children pranced and they sang on the film. And here, then we're going to enjoy a free afternoon with the locals in Salzburg, because you got to check out the Christmas markets. And every Christmas market has a different type of mug to collect. So when you're there, try to find the one that's just for Salzburg and bring it home with you, because it's a great thing to pull out when you bring out your Christmas decorations each year and remember the wonderful trips that you've taken. Also enjoy some of the traditional Mozart chocolate that's there, which is an Austrian specialty. And don't forget to just really checking out all of the beautiful Christmas markets featuring local crafts, traditional food, as well as drink. Don't make the mistake that I made though, because I started eating right when I got there. And so I was so full by the time I got all the way around. You just need to have a little nibble. They need to have a sampler plate, I think, of everything. It's just an amazing time. Then your day's going to conclude here at St. Peter's Stiftskeller, located in the historic center of the city. This restaurant has been serving for over 1,200 years, and you're going to have your dinner there. So really a neat opportunity there. You'll indulge in some traditional dessert as well. And then the next day, you'll get a full day in Innsbruck as well. The city just brimming with the sights and smells and sounds of the season. And as they call him, be on the lookout for St. Nicholas and even Krampus as they march through the market squares. Good, revel in some good cheer here too, while brass bands play from the towers, and indulge yourself in some Glühwein as well as some Stollen. And you're going to see too, you know how we sing about chestnuts roasting on an open fire? Well, they literally have them for you to eat. So be sure to enjoy that and try that. All right, great. They're outside and all gone. Okay. Anyway, then you get the opportunity for this wonderful Tyrolean dinner show too, which is an optional excursion. So if you would like to have something planned for the evening, this is a traditional dinner and show in Innsbruck. It's a 3-course dinner. You'll taste all the specialties there, as well as having a folklore show hosted by a musical family from there. So you'll take part in music, dance, excitement, and it's just a fun-filled evening that is something you can add on if you would like to. And then Linderhof Palace. So the tour I did was one of Colette's tours back in April and May. And we always do what's called a wow on tour. And so it's an added thing that they don't tell you what it is. And this was our wow. We made a stop at Linderhof Palace. And oh my gosh, it is so incredibly beautiful. This picture doesn't even do it justice. And when I was there, it wasn't even very crowded, and it was just a breathtaking day. This palace, out of all three that King Ludwig II built, this is the only one that he actually lived in. So it's modeled after Versailles. So if you've been to Versailles before, we'll bring in an expert guide here and really give you a chance to bask in the luxury of the royals and how they lived. It's a beautiful, beautiful property. And then journey on to Oberammergau. Okay, this is a Bavarian alpine village. Oberammergau is amazing, a very small town, and it is famous for the Passion Play that takes place every 10 years. So the last one was supposed to be in 2020, didn't happen, but it did happen in 2022, and then the next will be in 2030. A little history, if you don't know, that the first play took place back in the early 1600s, and it was giving thanks for the town escaping the bubonic plague. It was given to tell the story of Jesus and everything, and this warded off and protected everybody within the city. And they've been doing this now at first every year, and now they do it every 10 years. But it is performed only by people who live in Oberammergau. And you can't just move in and then say, oh, I want to be in there. You have to have lived there for so long. And these people go through growing their hair out long, and the performance is hours. It stops and you have an intermission where you have a meal, and it is really, really incredible, they say. We had a behind the scenes tour when we were there. That was just incredible. But over half of the villagers took part in the last play, and they have a beautiful outside amphitheater that you'll see. And then we'll have dinner, have a wonderful lunch here, and try some of the regional cuisines as well. This town too, if you're looking for things like cuckoo clocks and nutcrackers, Hummel figurines, this is going to be the best place to find these types of souvenirs. This town is home to generations of wood carvers, and it's just a great place to see all of their handiwork right there. And then we're on to Munich. Munich, of course, the word itself is derived from the old German word meaning home of the monks, and of course is home to the beer and Oktoberfest celebrations, which are going on almost about now. I have a couple groups over there right now getting ready to do that. You will venture on to see the Glockenspiel, where you'll see these life-size figurines spin and dance around. And then you'll have time to explore the Christmas markets here as well, perhaps grabbing a beer at the Hofbrauhaus or doing some final holiday shopping as well. And this is Europe's largest Christmas market. We'll have a local guide take you through, see all the famous sites such as the Royal Square and the Parliament Building. And then close the day off to the end by toasting the end of the seasonal Sonder and have a farewell dinner. And then your tour comes to the end. So this is 5 nights stay in one location. So unpack once in Innsbruck and get to visit all these wonderful places along the way, from the ski resorts of Seefeld throughout all of that beautiful area. So this is right after Thanksgiving. So great time, and still gives you plenty of time to get ready for Christmas when you get home. Deposit and insurance. Deposits are due by June 5th, and then final payment is September 5th. Land and air costs per person double, $32.99. Great pricing as well. And then everything is included just as the other tours are. Signing up by June 5th, you are saving $300. So let's talk about what's included. Hometown pickup. We're going to do one pickup from a central location, get you to the airport. When you come back, we get you back there. Everything's included as far as when you arrive in the destination airport. We get you to the hotel and back. So no need to worry about any of the transfers. All that stuff is included. If you want to upgrade your air, if you want to go in earlier, stay later, anything else, do another tour afterwards, just let Brandt Travel and Kendall know, and they'll be glad to help you with those things. And then our no worries travel protection. Get a full refund or cancellation at any time for any reason prior to the day of departure. Your insurance needs to be purchased at the time of your deposit. And then all of these are covered, as well as medical assistance, evacuation, baggage loss, or delay. Please remember that Medicare will not cover you internationally, and please have some type of insurance that will cover you for all of these things. It's really the kind of peace of mind you cannot live without. And then our Passport Club. If you've traveled with us before, you are already a member of our Passport Club. So no need to enroll. We do that for you when you take our first tour. We have different levels, level 1 adventure and level 2 explore. And just watch for that amount taken off of your final payment. You'll need a passport for the for the Canadian Rockies, as well as for the Christmas markets. You won't need it for the South Dakota or for the America's Cowboy Country, and you won't need a visa for anything. If you're traveling domestic, though, please be sure, and I think everybody should have their star on their driver's license now, but they are going to start requiring this as your real ID moving forward. And then that ends my presentation. I'll go ahead and stop sharing. And oh, good, I did well on time. So I just, if it's okay with Kendall, I'll open it up if anybody has any specific questions that I can answer or anything they didn't understand.
Sure. Feel free to just unmute yourself and we'll take some questions of Karen. Okay, well, if you think of a question following today's event, I can certainly answer those for you. And I have access to Karen always. She's such a great partner. We did have one pop up. Just in general, can you speak to group size?
Sure. Right. So all 3 of these tours, they average about 35 to 38 people. A maximum size would be 44.
Okay. So again, these are all-inclusive rates. If your departures town is not DFW, we can certainly make sure that we get your air to match the town you are leaving from. So please do not be concerned. But some great options for you to consider for 2025. And I know we have a lot of folks out there that love to cruise. I love to cruise, but these are some great destinations that a cruise ship is not going to take you to. So when you want to visit some of these really unique places, we really need to use a perfect partner and a guided land touring company like Collette. So please do give us a call or send us an email. We'll be glad to give you that day-by-day detail, although Karen gave us a great overview of exactly what's included, but I can send you that. And then please do share it with your friends and family, because travel is always better when you bring extra folks along that you love. So again, Karen, thank you so much for today.
Sure.
And bye for now, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.